I raced at Husky Triathlon yesterday and I came first in my age group. I was the 13th female in for the classic distance. But I'm not going to give you the traditional race debrief. I'm going to do things differently and give you 3 key moments from the race. Key moment number 1 was they cancelled the swim leg. It was massive seas. There was 7 meter swell just offshore and people were surfing down at Jarvis Bay. It was such a nice wave too. And so that changed the start. It was a rolling start. We walked up in pairs and it was really slow waiting for your turn to come, but we walked up in pairs to the start line, dismounted, and then we had to run a little, like maybe 10 meters to the mount line, and then started the 60k bike ride. And everybody was really congested at the beginning, like men and women were all together, and it was tight packed on the roads. Like there were people everywhere. It was such a massive turnout for the race. So what a difficult decision it would have been for the event organizers. Key moment number 2 for me was at the turning point for the first lap. At the beginning of the race, my friend said to me, and he's a very strong racer, he's very fast, he said, "Claire, watch out. People are going to overcook themselves. They're going to go out with fresh legs and they will go too fast on the first 20k and then they will, they'll be done." So it's a rolling course, Huskerson. It's up and down over the hills, and I was pushing it up the hills, like my legs were burning, and I started to question at the 30k mark, am I going too hard on the hills? So made the decision then that I needed more nutrition, so I had a gel, and decided that I need to coax more after on the downhill. So push it up, but then let the heart rate come back down for the bike. The third moment that I wanted to share with you was this lady who looked really fit. She looked like a runner herself. She looked at me and she said, "You're running really strong. You're running really well." And at that moment, I actually felt like a runner, and running that's not my chosen thing. Like that's something that I've actually had to really work hard at to become faster and better at. So that made me feel really good out on the course. My biggest opportunity from the race was definitely cornering. There was a lot of corners and I was so slow going around those corners. It would have been quite funny to watch, to be honest. Like this chick on a time trial bike trying to go really fast on the flats and then coming into a corner like super slow. So that's something I've really got to work on. Next up for me is I've registered for Wollongong Triathlon. It's the Australian Championships race for the standard, and I've had a really good season, so I want to see how I fare against the others in that race. It's only 3 weeks away. I've only got really 2 weeks to sort of build, 1 week taper, but it'd be good to work on some speed, so I'll put together later in this week my training plan for the next 3 weeks.